Anti-Iran terrorist organization Mojahedine Khalgh, also known as MKO, is holding another gathering in France. Top MKO members, including its public face, Maryam Rajavi, have close ties with hawkish U.S. politicians like former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. The former New York mayor has been one of the main speakers of previous MKO gatherings in France, with handsome speaking fees. Giuliani has announced that this year also he is not going to miss the event. Newt Gingrich is another U.S. politician closely affiliated with terrorist organization. He's also on the list of speakers this year. Both Giuliani and Gingrich have been backing the group for years, but it's different now as the two are key figures in the U.S. President Donald Trump's orbit. But perhaps the most senior U.S. politician courted by the MKO is this man, John Bolton, Trump's national security advisor.
That just shows what utter hypocrites the United States are. If you're a terrorist group that kills people that the Americans can't control, then you're good, and we're going to support you. In fact, we'll even fund you. But also, MKO is largely supported by the French as well, in a way as a kind of proxy for the United States.
Bolton has long talked about regime change in Iran. His inclusion in Trump administration speaks volumes about the U.S. president's mindset. The deepening ties between Bolton and Mojahedine Khalgh terror group suggests that the U.S. administration may seek to use the MKO at some point to pressure Iran.
So there's a lot of money being pumped into MKO. Their traction is very low, I think, amongst the general public. What they may do, though, is to put them alongside special forces, that is to say, British special forces like the SAS, the American Green Berets, the French special forces, and together with them, they may turn into a fighting force. But I don't think that it's going to be possible in the future in any way to pass these people off as in any way genuine Iranians, because most Iranians know that the groups like this are just simply puppets.
This year's MKO gathering comes as the U.S. has intensified its anti-Iran campaign. The Trump administration has stepped up its threats against Tehran. The White House has pledged to mount economic pressure on the Iranian establishment through tough sanctions. In the wake of its unilateral withdrawal from the nuclear deal with Iran in May, Washington is trying to scare off foreign companies who want to deal with Iran. The Mojahedine Khalgh organization is a notorious terrorist group. It is responsible for numerous bloody terrorist attacks against Iranian civilians and government officials over the past decades. During the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, the MKO joined forces with former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. The U.S. itself put the group on its terror blacklist for 15 years, but then removed it to pave the way for the group to more easily receive hefty funds.
Is completely now distrusted within Iran itself, and actually seen by most Iranians, if not almost all Iranians, as exactly what it is, which is a tool of foreign power. It's a cult. It's quite right to call it a cult, because they've been actually supported by the Israelis and the Brits in terms of money, but a cult because it's very difficult to leave it. Also, there's been documented sexual exploitation of women.
The MKO is a well-known enemy of the Iranian nation with a notorious record. Yet the U.S. is apparently determined to find a role for the group in a bid to pressure Iran. Observers believe that by backing and using the MKO, the U.S. is further revealing its double standards in dealing with terrorism.